Cadillac has officially entered its electric era with the start of production this week of the Cadillac Lyriq, its first all-electric model. I'm Fox News Autos editor Gary Gastelou, and joining me in the Fox Garage to talk about it is Cadillac Vice President Rory Harvey. Welcome.
Hey, good morning, Gary, and I love the way that you do that introduction. We're definitely buzzing down here at Spring Hill this morning, and it sounds like you are as well.
I got to ask you, not the best time to be building cars at all right now with the semiconductor and other part shortages. Is that an issue for the Lyriq, or have you cleared its path for production this year?
Yeah, we've cleared its path for production this year. It's not to say that it's not without challenges. As you rightly say, there are challenges with the semiconductor availability in the industry, but we pulled forward the production of Lyriq by 9 months, and we're on track to be able to meet that schedule. So we've cleared the path for Lyriq.
Has Cadillac or General Motors more broadly had any issues specific to the war in Ukraine? I know some European companies have had part supply problems directly related to that.
No, we don't have any tier one suppliers in Ukraine. We don't have any manufacturing facilities in Ukraine either, and we get limited product supply from some of those areas. So no problems at the moment.
All right, so let's talk about the Lyriq, mid-size SUV, starting price just under $60,000, 300 miles of range. Orders are going to begin on May 19th, but you've said you've had 200,000 or more hand raisers for the vehicle. How many of those do you expect to convert into orders, and how many of these do you expect to build and deliver through the end of this year?
So I'd be able to give you a much more concrete answer in terms of how many convert based upon historical data that we've got for our internal combustion engines. I guess the Lyriq is the first EV that we're bringing to market, so we're pivoting. So from that point of view, actually, as of this morning, we're up to about 240,000 hand raisers. So the demand for this vehicle is huge. We would expect for that to convert between 10 and 20%. I guess time will tell us to the levels that it does actually convert at. And at the moment, because of that high level of demand, not only have we pulled forward the vehicle by 9 months, we're also looking at how we can ramp up production even quicker so that we can fulfill as much of that demand as possible this year.
And how much do you think, ballpark, this year you'll be able to build and send out?
Yeah, so we've not finalized the plans. They're still work in progress in terms of that one at this particular point in time. But, I think that we should be looking at, somewhere around about 20,000 units.
Now, this is a mid-size electric SUV, sort of competes against the Tesla Model Y, the Audi e-tron SUV. But is that who the competition is, or are a lot of the customers expected to come from internal combustion engine vehicles?
That's a great question, because if you looked at the hand raisers that we've got so far, well, firstly, to start off with, it's a little over 66% of them are conquests, so they're new to the brand, so that part is really good. But they've come from various degrees. So as an example, we've got people that have got high performance cars today that are buying a Lyriq. We've got people that have come from mainstream volume manufacturers that are buying a Lyriq. I would say that a significant proportion of them are coming from internal combustion engines. And if you looked at the mix of vehicles today, obviously the majority of the customer base still drive ICE vehicles. So, that's where the majority of customers will come from. But as EV adoption grows, we see this being a very competitive offering to entice those customers to switch from their current vehicles to an EV.
Now, Cadillac's going to be selling EVs and internal combustion engine models through the end of the decade, by which point you do expect to be all electric. You've asked your dealer network to come along with you. You're basically requiring them to transition to become all EV, or else they need to give up their franchises. Where are you at on the number of franchises right now? And do you expect any new ones to join as far as part of the new program is concerned?
Yeah, so we went through a transition plan during the course of last year to make sure that all of our dealers were going to be EV ready so that they could join us on the path to be coming an all EV brand. From that perspective, we've got just over 560 dealerships today in terms of Cadillac dealers. We do have a few open points where we are closing them out, but we don't see significant growth in the number of dealerships from where we are today. So 564 is the official number now.
Now, the Lyriq's one model you have coming out this year. Another one is the polar opposite, the Cadillac Escalade V, big supercharged V8 powered SUV that's probably going to be maybe one of the least fuel efficient models on the market today. What does a Cadillac customer, what does somebody looking at Cadillac take away from this dichotomy here?
Yeah, I guess it's one of those ones that as you go through a transition phase, you need to have model availability that suits the different customer requirements. And we think certainly at the top end of Escalade that there's an opportunity in terms of a performance variant. And indeed, if you look to EVs going forward, they're still going to give us the ability to have performance variants going forward. And, as you know, we still race as Cadillac, and we take some of that technology and integrate it into our own vehicles. And as an example, I was actually at Sebring this weekend, and Cadillac got a clean sweep in terms of first, second, and third. So very pleased with our performance there. It's part of our heritage, and it will be part of our future.
What is the tipping point for the Cadillac customer? Is it the convenience, the charging speed? Is it the pricing? What's going to move them into electric vehicles over the next 8 years?
Yeah, so that trend changes over time. It's a great question. At the moment, the number one is range. Number two is the rate of charging speed, as an example, and then price. It also comes into the equation. But the first one is, does the vehicle go far enough for my requirements? The second one is, how convenient is it to recharge the vehicle? And then the third one means that yes, it still needs to be competitive.
Now, the Lyriq is $60,000, right in the middle of the market these days, actually, if you look at average transaction prices. You will in the future have an electric Escalade at some point. Your next electric model, I believe, is the Celestiq, which is going to be a high-end luxury sedan, a flagship for the brand. But right now, your entry-level models are the CT4 and the XT4. They're more in the $35,000 range. How soon before we'll see a Cadillac that's priced in that area?
Yeah, we haven't disclosed our portfolio over time. So the first vehicle will be the Lyriq. Then you're absolutely right; it'll be the Celestiq, and then we've got a fairly rapid acceleration in terms of EV vehicle availability that progresses after that. So it's going to be a short period of time before you see the more entry price point Cadillac EVs, but it's not that far away in the grand scheme of things.
All right, Rory Harvey, Vice President of Cadillac, thanks for joining us today.
Thank you very much, Gary.
And to read more about the Lyriq, head on over to foxnewsautos.com.